Good morning. I am Dr. Pranita Palve, Assistant Professor in Civil Engineering Department of MVP Samajas, KBT College of Engineering, Nashik. Today, we are discussing the topic fluid statics from the fluid mechanics. Fluid static is the branch of fluid mechanics in which the study of the fluids is carried out when it is at rest condition. When the fluid is at rest condition means there is no motion of the fluid, different fluid layers. That means here the velocity gradient du by dy does not changes with respect to the displacement or with respect to the depth of the fluid, and therefore when the fluid is at rest condition no shear stress is acting on the fluid particles. Okay. Next, when fluid is at rest, then the upper layer will exert the pressure on the bottom layer. So likewise at the top of the fluid the pressure is 0, and as you are moving towards the downward direction or toward the depth of the flow, then pressure is maximum at the bottom. The reason is that the upper layers are exerting the pressure on the bottommost layer, and therefore pressure is maximum at the bottommost layer. Let us see fluid pressure at a point. That pressure or intensity of the pressure is nothing but it is the ratio of force acting over the unit area. Let capital F represents the total force uniformly distributed over an area capital A. Then pressure at any point is given by the relation. Generally pressure or intensity of the pressure is represented by small p, and which is equals to capital F upon A. When the pressure varies from point to point on an area, the magnitude of pressure at any point can be obtained from expression small p is equals to dF upon dA, where dF is nothing but the change in force with respect to the points and dA is its corresponding area. In SI system, the pressure is expressed in terms of Newton per meter square, or it is a Pascal. 1 Pascal is equals to 1 Newton per meter square. Other commonly used units for the pressure are kilopascal. Kilopascal is equals to 10 raised to 3 Newton per meter square, or bar. Bar can be expressed as 10 raised to 5 Newton per meter square. Fluid is a substance which is having capability to flow. If such a fluid mass kept in one container, then that fluid mass is exerting the force on the surface of the boundary. This force is always acting perpendicular to the boundary surface, and therefore it exerting the pressure over the surface of the area. In case of the fluid, when it is at rest condition, cannot sustain the shear stresses, and therefore the tangential component will not be present. So therefore here, in case of the fluid which is at rest condition, it exerting the normal forces on the surface of this container, and this normal forces per unit area is called as the pressure or intensity of the pressure. Next term is the Pascal's law. The Pascal's law states that pressure or intensity of the pressure at any point in the static fluid is equal in all the directions. So with this statement, let us derive the Pascal's law. Consider this triangular shaped fluid element. Okay, dx, dy and ds, these are the sides, or we can say the dimensions of this fluid element. Consider an arbitrary fluid element of weight shape in the fluid mass at rest. Let the width of the element perpendicular to the plane of the pair, and which is equals to unity. Px, Py and Pz, these are the intensities of the pressure along x, y and z direction respectively. So here AC, AB and BC, these are the sides along the x, y and z direction respectively. Let the angle theta is the angle between angle ABC. Then the forces acting on the fluid elements are. Now what are the forces acting on these fluid elements? First force is nothing but the self weight of this weight shape element, and the second force is nothing but the pressure forces in x direction, y direction and along the z direction. Now let us consider first forces on the face AB. Now forces on the face AB is nothing but intensity of the pressure in x direction multiplied by its unit area. Now the area for the AB side is nothing but the dy into 1. dy is the length of the AB and 1 is the width which is perpendicular to the plane of the paper. So along the face AB, that px into dy into 1 force is acting in x direction. Similarly over the side AC, here the intensity of the pressure in y direction multiplied by its unit area. The unit area is nothing but the dx into 1. dx is the length of the length of the AC multiplied by the width. Width is unity which is perpendicular to the plane of the paper. So py into dx into 1 is the force acting along the AC. Similarly, we can determine the force along the z direction, which is equals to ds into 1 into pz, where ds is the length of the side BC and 1 is the width of the element which is perpendicular to the plane of the paper. So therefore these are the three forces acting in x, y and z direction respectively. Similarly, self weight of this wedge shaped fluid element is acting at the CG of the body, and which is equals to the mass m into g, that is mass of the fluid element into the g. That mass of the fluid element we can determine from the mass density. Mass of the fluid element is equals to mass density into volume into g. So volume is equals to AB into AC into 1. 1 is the width of the fluid element AB, and AC 1/2 AB and AC, this is the area of the triangle, into 1 is the width of the fluid element. So this is the volume multiplied by rho into G. So this is the total weight of the fluid element acting over the here. Now next we can resolve all the forces, and we are equating the forces in x direction and in y direction. So let us consider forces which are in the x direction. Here component of pressure intensity in x direction is px dy into 1 minus, here we can consider the horizontal component of this pz ds into 1, which is equals to sin 90 minus theta, or you may consider it is a cos theta. But from the diagram we know that cos theta, what is cos theta? It is a AB upon BC, and therefore here BC is ds, so ds into cos of theta we can write down the AB, and AB is nothing but the dy. So instead of considering here ds cos of theta, we can write down the dy. So px dy into 1 minus pz into dy. These are the dy is common in both the sides, so cancel that term. So therefore from that we can write down px is equals to pz. Px and py, these are the intensities of the pressure in x and y direction. Similarly, we can resolve all the forces in the y direction, and we are considering the y component of the forces. Now from this diagram we can say that py dx into 1 is the intensity of the force is acting in y direction. Second, the component of pz cos of pz ds into 1 into cos of 90 minus theta is the another force acting in the y direction, as well as the weight of the fluid element is acting in the y direction. So it is shown here in the last equation. Again from the diagram, sin theta equals to dx upon ds. So therefore dx is equals to ds into sin theta. We can rewrite that equation. So it is a py into dx minus pz into dx. Dx is common in both the sides, so cancel that term. So therefore we are obtaining py is equals to pz. So from the equation 1 and 2 we can say that px is equals to py is equals to pz, which states that intensity of the pressure is equal in any direction, that is along the x, y and z direction. Next topic is pressure variation in a fluid at rest. The pressure at any point in a fluid at rest is obtained by the hydrostatics law, which states that the rate of increase of pressure in the vertically downward direction must be equal to the specific weight of the fluid at a point. This statement we can derive with this diagram. See this diagram. In this diagram the fluid is considered In that fluid, A, B, C, D is the fluid element is considered, having delta A is the cross section area and delta Z is the length of this fluid element. Now what the different forces acting on the fluid elements are: first force acting on the face AB is nothing but the pressure force, which is equals to small p into delta A. Small p is the intensity of the pressure and delta is the cross section area. As you are moving from AB to the DC, then your pressure intensity is increasing. So how much quantity of the pressure intensity is increasing? It is a dabba P upon dabba Z into delta Z quantity of the pressure intensity is increasing when you are moving from AB to the CD. Similarly, along the AD and BC, the pressure force is acting, but the direction, the magnitude of pressure force acting on the AD and BC are having same magnitude, but they are in the opposite direction. So therefore, they cancel with each other. Next force is the self weight of this fluid element. The self weight of the fluid element is acting at the CG of this fluid element, and which is acting in the downward direction. Now, for equilibrium of the fluid element, we are doing the algebraic sum of the forces acting in the y direction, and which is equals to the 0. So ultimately, after solving this equation, we are obtaining that dabba p upon dabba z is equals to rho into g, where rho into g is nothing but the weight density of this fluid element. So from this equation, we can state that the rate of increase of pressure in vertical direction is equals to the weight density of the fluid at that point, and this is nothing but your hydrostatic law. By integrating above equation, we have obtained that P is equals to rho g into Z, where P is the intensity of the pressure, rho is the mass density, g is the acceleration due to gravity, and z is nothing but the height of the point from the free surface. So from that here, we can determine the z. Z is nothing but the pressure head, which is equals to P upon rho g, or other way we can write down P upon gamma. Thank you.